3 days. This is my 3rd day of wearing lace, and already it looks fucked up, right? Apart from like being fucking tired, having a mane sticking out the side of my head. Maybe I should rethink that whole don't cut it. I think I do need to cut it. I should go to a hairdresser, but they always do it wrong. Originally going to the hairdresser was all about being embarrassed about them knowing I've got a hairpiece, but I don't care about that with hairdressers anymore. They're like doctors, right? So, lifting of this front edge of the lace, it's just as I remember. With poly, the glue would still be affixed to the base. You just spray on some of this and just push it back down. I just don't trust that's the case with lace. And now I've got to clean up the front edge, which has just gathered a bit of dirt the last day. So I thought I applied enough glue at the front. So now I'm going to have to clean off this glue here. I think this is going to be a daily problem with lace. So you're all convinced that the lace looks more realistic at the front hairline than the poly. Well done for noticing that. I'm pretty sure this is Swiss lace, which has a maximum density of medium light. So this is medium light density, and so you can see there, I've been feeling like my natural hair is a lot thicker density than medium light, so it seems incompatible. And it's not my favorite density anymore. I originally said this is the density everyone should get. The most realistic density. It is, really. Because the graduation that people talk about, the gradual build-up of hair instead of having a wall of hair at the front hairline, everyone's talking about the front hairline because everything else looks real, right? So it's all about the hairline. And we want graduation, which is... The problem with that is, I mean, this solves it by having medium light density. But then you've got that whole, you can see the scalp quite a lot. One factor that might affect the appearance of density is the length of hair. Obviously, if you've got long hairs, they all create a big vagina in every gap. So you can see right in. So now there's hair glue on the lace. It's coming off. Undoubtedly, I'm weakening the knots as I do this. And the most unfortunate thing about this is going to be a daily struggle. I hate it already. Appearance-wise, it's great. Can we blame the glue? Can we blame the lack of some kind of sweat release? The sweat inhibitor? No. Also, one thing I should point out is I'm not sweating in my scalp area. The lace is completely ventilated the heat escape from the scalp, so the glue has no sweat underneath it. which would be an excuse for reducing the group at the front. Yeah, I keep expecting at some point the glue's going to stop being on the lace, but it will be on the lace all the way to the back. So I should have stopped there and just put this in. Try to clean off some of the residual dirt along the front hairline. Wipe down the scalp. This is fragrance free, but it would contain some kind of chemical or soap or salt or something. So just by habit, I just usually put alcohol on there just to clean up as much as I can, which I think would be sufficient. There's no need for those to be that long. But when I cut those, then the back sticks out and it's incompatible with the sides. Then I'm going to cut the back short. Then it has to go up here and bend around the corner, and then now this is going to be too long, so this will have to be reduced, and so then the whole thing's shorter and the whole hair do looks neater, but then my face is too fat with the double chin and everything. There's no hiding anymore, so I've removed that entire effect. If I straightened my hair chemically, then I'd have the problem of very straight connections here with a very neat, easily visible join. I need that join to be hidden. Otherwise I might as well have a shaved head with a hairpiece, which I don't like to do at all. It's only do it if you must, and then you've got to wear a hat during that regrowth period. At the present, I don't need the regrowth period because it's already very long or medium length. Why aren't I using Ghost Bond now to test it out? Because I just know it. Okay. I've had it reiterated to me in a recent comment that Ghost Bond would work if I just did it properly for once. Maybe I should master the art of using Ghost Bond. I think it's for hairpiece experts. Maybe it's the most advanced glue there is. But given none of the people who've recommended Ghost Bond actually works and I'm doing it wrong have made any videos to show anybody how to do it, if you know that video, just if you know there is one, make that the first comment, please, so I don't miss it. I wouldn't mind learning how to use Ghost Bond. Not from an advertising firm or anything, just from somebody who's actually able to do it successfully and shows you the truth of the results. You know how I'm honest? I mean, you can't deny that, right? Unless I'm being tongue-in-cheek with a joke, and I think that's made clear throughout my discourse. Yeah, so if you find somebody who's honest and will say, yeah, this is day 3 of Ghost Bond, it's fucking all come up. It only held for the first day. And then it made a big mess trying to clean it off at the end. I need to know everything about it. If I'm left having questions to ask at the end, I hope it's not too many questions. And I hope it's not fundamental questions, otherwise they have completely failed and then I wouldn't even watch another of their videos, probably. Even though I fuck up a lot of the time. and you keep coming back because you're crazy. That's not true exactly though. I've got 95,000 views at the moment on one of my videos, and the last one I did was about 500, so still good. It's good, thank you. But same people aren't coming back, and yet more people keep going to that 95,000 one. It's like when you got a really good burger joint that makes professional burgers, and then you got McDonald's next door. McDonald's just has the cheap plasticky stuff that's, you know, mass produced and not made with great quality or care, and everyone's lining up there, and then for the same price maybe these burgers are really good and nobody's coming. Why? I don't know. That's why everyone's going to the 95,000, I can tell you that. I've made better videos along the way, but they're not the most successful ones. Quality does not equal success. Popularity does, which is not a good way to well, it's not a good trait in humanity that we choose to follow. Having said that, I've gained a little bit more respect for people over the years, because reviews for movies, when it's a proper review system, when the people say it's shit, it's usually shit. When the people say it's really good, it's usually really good. So I am trying a little bit harder to become more of a follower. Look at all this shit I'm having to do for lace. I don't think it's worth that day one experience. And I can promise you that after this is all put back down and everything, I'm still going to have hairs stuck along here. It's what I'm talking about with lace, having to guess where the hairline's going to land exactly. With poly, I don't have to guess this line, because you just paste it onto you paint onto the poly base itself, and then it just lands where it lands, and the glue's already there. This is going backwards, I think. I agree. In the previous video I made a couple of days ago, I had the lace unit down there, and then I put the poly hairline right in front of it, and you could see it, and I lifted it, and then took the lace one, and the lace one looked real, and then the poly looked like shit. It's almost like the poly one was like a wig or something. Do you guys have this effect on your face when you're that tired? Where you, like, I get the feeling that people who are really tanned don't get this stoned look in their eyes when they're really tired. I do. I don't understand people who still look good when they're tired. My face looks deteriorated, like I've just come out of a fucking coffin. It sounds like this though when I could record my voice, and I'd be very authoritative and speak as a narrator. I want to start getting rid of hair, but I can't just do bits and pieces at a time. I've got to probably gonna go to a hairdresser. It's become too uncontrollable. I just wish that the sides could be short, but they still have some length without it looking like I was a fucking bogan. You know, a redneck bogan. Low socio-economic hairstyle, yet they're still trying to look that way. It's not like they could only afford to get the sides cut and they couldn't afford the rest. They just chose, this is the style I want, so that I'll be considered tough or whatever. Because education, that's not how their status works in that society. the haircuts that have been invented and seem to be reoccurring over the years are probably the best ones that humans can have, because alternative hairstyles often suck. That's why you often see the short back and sides look on men. It actually does suit hairless monkeys to have that kind of look. And from the short back and sides, then variations occur with the sideburns. Look at these ingrown hairs I got immediately after shaving. Fucking hate shaving. And tell me this, if you're a man and you kiss a girl, how are you not ripping their face to shreds? Or if you're a girl, I mean, they've got 3% of you are girls. How embarrassing. Fucking don't look at me. Fuck off. Alright? But doesn't it hurt? I imagine that softness there, that's the one part of my body that's soft, that I can touch this with. So that really feels like blades. Is it ever not like blades for you when you kiss a man? Maybe if you have a little girly man, that would be on time. You'd need some man who doesn't really grow a beard properly to be a good kisser. Because, I mean, when I get my makeup put on, in stage plays and stuff, and TV shows and stuff, they put sponges, and the sponges are just turning into fucking, they're being ground like cheese. And isn't this every man's face? And it's at its sharpest later in the day that I shaved. So if I shave, that's the sharpest. Like just straight after. And if I shave, then that's day one of the 2-week rash that's yet to come. And it's most red and ingrown hairs and pimples that same day as well. So how are you guys shaving? I hate shaving. I think it looks worse. It doesn't disguise any of the fucking bags and the nasolabial folds and the other rest of it. I feel it kind of blends my face away into obscurity when I got some stubble on. Also any body fat and chin, double chin happening. That stubble seems to hide it a bit. Shit. I get the feeling, yeah. This bit just here, I think that's wet. I think I got wet glue on the lace that's... Those hairs will stick together, probably, from now on. Immediately above that lace bit where I put glue. Hopefully it's just touching the lace base and it hasn't penetrated, hopefully. Do you guys get this as well? Do you guys trim this part? Do you consider this part of your daily or your weekly sideburn deal? Because I mean, every time you shave your face, you decide what size your sideburns are, right? You don't need a hairdresser to do your sideburns because they are your part of your shaving deal, right? Is there anyone among you who doesn't know how to control the length of their own sideburns? Tell me now, please. Also, is there anyone among you who doesn't tear up a sponge or something like that? If you had toilet paper and all like that, is there anyone among you that wouldn't turn into crumbs any day of the week? Apart from somebody with a beard, I don't think that would happen. A beard is the softest. Unless you've got a little boy's face. And really got any stubble. Makes me think sometimes I should just wax it and then just be smooth for a while. Then the ingrown hair problem would be crazy. Like that always gets there, right around those edges on the lips there. Is there anyone among you who doesn't use hair product? And if so, are you embarrassed by that? That seems very weird. Or is your hair so straight and controllable that the slightest breeze will just make another style instantly without any mess? I don't even know what it's like for people with straight hair. Is your life extremely easy? Is like everything you do just totally easy? Because life is just, you're just lucky. That's it. But then again, you're not that lucky because you come to a balding channel, you must be having some problems. Yeah, straight hair and bald. That's the problem with the join. The join would be more visible for you guys. You're going to put straight hair directly after straight hair join. So, if you haven't got any of that going on, all the hair's bunching up to create a nest to block off that visibility for people seeing that line there. How are you blending that? You're hoping I would tell you. I don't know. I don't have straight hair. You're the one who had the lucky youth, not me. I was a redhead. Okay, so I'm going to shave this off my whole head now. Sick of wearing hair. And I hope you enjoyed my channel. No, I'm not going to stop. I am addicted. I don't want to be bald. I know what happens when you shave your head. I regret it every time. Every time I shave my head in this mood, especially in summer as well, when everything's sticky and the frustrations. I can't afford psychologically to be doing this every day. And it seems to me, once again, now going back to lace, that this is what is going to have to happen. Daily hairline maintenance. I was spoiled with poly. Yes, I saw the hairline didn't look very realistic, but I always wore it brushed forward anyway. God, I look old. I'm fucking ugly. But I've been saying that to myself for a long time. I always thought one day with my hands, the backs of my hands would be like old man, wrinkly and stuff. They've kind of become that way. Apparently your age can be determined by how long it takes for that to flop back in. I remember having a 100th birthday. Okay. All right. Let's set these lines up. Okay, so I've got hairs glued to my scalp over here because there's excess there. As I do that, you can feel all this stuff lifting as well. Bit just lifted up over there as well. And that's all lifted there, all the way along. Well, back to the brush forward look. I'm just gonna have to leave it exposed. I cannot be bothered doing that twice a day, correcting it that much. Look how tired I am. I'm like this often, right? Sometimes, I mean, in the past month, I've stayed awake for more than 48 hours at a time, more often than not. 2 days awake, 1 night of sleep. Sometimes 3 days awake, and then 4 hours of sleep, and then 12 hours awake, and then 6 hours of sleep, and then 72. All the days just kind of blend together. But I haven't got anything to do. I mean, I was supposed to be at the festival. This festival is people came from England and they were going to the festival, and I was going to go to the festival. I didn't go because I have money. I'm acting drunk, aren't I? There's fatigue, right? Anyway, just what kind of a person is going to be brushing their hair back every single day? You'd have to have so much patience for that. I don't. Just go with this. Get it good enough so that if it's a bit seen, right, if the wind blows it, right, it's not going to be a big deal. Okay, I'm going to go lie down in bed now, so I don't really need to do my hair. You can see the effort that is required of lace. That cleanup at the beginning seems to be something that I could have just got rid of like that without any fuss. That bit's not stuck down properly. I'll press down harder here. And hopefully there won't be glue stuck to all the hairs, and my hair's stuck to my forehead and all the trouble that comes with it. Picking them out makes the hairs fall out, etc. So lace is a pain in the ass. But if the knots are bleached properly, which is something you don't have to worry about with poly, I mean, you kind of do because you've got to make sure there's no wall of hair at the front. If the knots are bleached properly, and if the glue is not shiny, that is using a glue when you're in a nightclub, in wintertime, indoors, but not outside in the shining sun with the glue shining out. I can promise you, if I went outside in that sunshine right now, it would just be a gleaming, shiny mess. Just beaming back, it would be disgustingly shiny. And any kind of pressure on here from anything leaning against a window, wearing a hat especially, game over. Doing this, they'll be pressing hairs down into the glue, which is melted, which is basically straight out of the bottle. I may as well just be pouring it over the top of the hairpiece. So I recommend find a better glue. The glue is at the heart of all the problems. Using tape, like people suggest, would be absolutely visible. You'd have to be fucking crazy to use tape along the front hairline of lace. There is absolutely no disguising that. I can see the netting through the hairpiece. If I look close enough. Yeah, I can see the shape of it. I can see the beehive shit. Okay, listen to me carefully. If you haven't got 20/20 vision, get the first few times you put your hairpiece on checked by somebody else, a hairdresser or something. Okay? An honest one. You don't want tape. There'd be a fucking rectangle shape all the way along with the shiny gleam of the glue from the tape. Plus it would give you extra liftage along the front, and you want it to be as flat and compressed and profiled to your forehead, to your scalp as possible. Why would you ever risk lifting it more? Tape is super thick. And I've tried dealing with tape, peeling it off and get stuck in your thumb, and then it comes off and brings all the other tape you've laid down on the hairpiece up with it. It's a fucking nightmare. I don't understand. Why wouldn't you just get some kind of, if you care about the breathability of the lace, get lace in the middle and then some sort of poly perimeter. Do that. Then just add glue to the perimeter, and then just somehow fucking don't put glue in the middle, and then the whole thing will just be fluffing around in the breeze. Ease of use, poly, hands down, wins 100 times easier than lace. appearance-wise at the front hairline, day one, lace wins, but not in sunshine, not in the lights of a theatre. You know what I'm saying? When I say theatre, I don't mean you're sitting in a dark theatre. I mean you're out in the foyer and they've got downlights shining on your fucking head and you're going out to schmooze with people or something. Because that's kind of my thing that I do sometimes at a play. Like on stage, bright fucking spotlights. Sometimes a camera zoom right in. Big screen, close-ups. This cannot fail, right? I'm not going with a brushed back look, unless it's absolutely necessary, okay? So those of you who are worried about the front hairline, is this because you want a brushed back look? Seriously, are you expecting to be able to have a daily brushed back look? Are you? Tell me, write your fucking comments. Relevant to what I've asked you in the video, answer me please. Thank you.